You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. If you've lived in Texas for any length of time, you know the sound of a spring rainstorm before you ever see it. The wind ramps up, rain starts coming in sideways, then the hail starts falling and trying to come through your roof. That's exactly what happened to JT in Lubbock. JT is a church administrator whose church recently weathered one of those vicious West Texas hailstorms. When it was over, the roof damage was obvious, but what followed was worse. Water found its way into the sanctuary, and before anyone could react, it soaked through the church's costly sound system. Speakers, consoles, wiring, equipment that took years to build out and fine-tune was suddenly destroyed. Without a sound system, worship services would be ruined. Stress levels for the church's leaders spiked as they contemplated whether or not the damage would actually be covered by their church insurance policy. For churches like JT's, sound equipment isn't a luxury. It's essential. It carries the message. It supports worship. It allows the congregation to gather and participate together. When that equipment is damaged or destroyed, the impact goes far beyond the price tag. And here's where many churches get caught off guard. They assume their property insurance automatically covers everything inside the building, the walls, the roof, and yes, the equipment. But it is not that simple. Church insurance is a specialized form of commercial insurance, and understanding how it treats personal property matters. The building itself is one thing. The contents inside the building are another. Sound systems, lighting, projectors, instruments, and technical equipment fall into a category called business personal property. Understanding that coverage matters because it often comes with limits. Often there are sub-limits on electronic equipment that quietly caps how much the insurance company will pay you to replace it. Frequently, these limits are way less than the equipment is actually worth. And other times, the coverage is written on an actual cash value basis, which means depreciation can dramatically reduce a claim payout. Those details don't show up when things are calm. They show up when water is dripping through the ceiling onto your soundboard. As JT worked through the claim process, it became clear that knowing what was covered, how it was valued, and whether there were hidden caps on certain equipment made all the difference. That's when conversations about inventory, valuation, and specialty coverage started to matter. For churches that rely heavily on sound systems, basic personal property coverage may not be enough. High-value audio equipment often needs broader protection. That's where inland marine coverage comes into play. Despite the strange name, this type of coverage is designed to protect valuable equipment without the restrictive sublimits and exclusions found in standard policies. It's the difference between hoping the insurance payout will be enough and knowing it will be. The goal of church insurance isn't just to repair buildings. It's to restore ministry activities, to make sure worship doesn't stall, to make sure the tools that support the mission can be repaired or replaced without draining reserves or delaying services. That's why working with a church insurance specialist matters. At Insurance for Texans, we help churches like JT's through our True Texas Church Insurance program. We ask better questions. We look beyond the building. We identify where valuable equipment lives inside the policy and where it may be exposed. Then we design coverage that actually matches how your church operates. If your church has invested in sound equipment, lighting, or technology, now is the time to review how it's insured. Don't wait until the next storm to find out what's missing. Reach out to our church insurance team at insurancefortexans.com. And if you would like a broader overview of church insurance in general, Get a copy of our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, understanding your church's policy will go a long way towards protecting its future.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.